Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of 3D Dollars, Dreams, and Discussions with your hosts, Uncle Will and Shannon B. Okay. So here we go again. Uncle Will is in the place to be. I'm on the MIC. Ladies floor.
And I'm Shannon B.
So, welcome you guys to this week's episode 3D, which is Dollars, Dreams, and Discussions. So, this one right here could be a mixture of dreams and discussions because we're talking about a woman going through her Hoe Faze. Why is Shannon shaking her head?
I'm about to roll my sleeves up because I got time today.
Oh.
It's time for violence.
Okay. So let's get right into it then. What's wrong with a woman going through a Hoe Faze?
Absolutely not. Do not recommend. It's unnecessary. And there's nothing good in it. Whatsoever.
Why not though? Because
why for?
Because sometimes you want to get some out your system, and
for
you just
what?
want to let go because you want to get this out before you find that significant other and settle down and be a church-going possible first lady. And so you just want to go ahead and just smash or get smashed by as many men as you possibly can before you become a Betty Crocker housewife.
No. You don't need it. There's no... Now, this is coming from a former hot girl. Okay. I've been in my 20s. I'm a millennial. I had a good time.
Okay.
Unnecessary. I'm telling you, the soft girl life is where it's at. I'm telling you, I promise you.
How can you tell them some nonsense? What is a soft girl's life? First
the
of
soft
all,
girl life is when you ain't got to worry about nothing.
Okay. Now, when you say you have to worry about nothing, what you trying to say? Like
nothing.
She's
you ain't got to worry about nothing.
She's not being descriptive here because I'm with you, ladies. Do what you have to do because it's going to come a day where you're not going to be able to hit them streets like you used to because you're going to have kids. You're going to have a significant other. That's if your mind is right. He'll marry you. And then you want a career. Don't forget that. Have a career. So you're not going to be able to hit them streets like you used to. So you just want to celebrate your womanhood and do what you got to do.
Even if you do want to waste your time going out, because that's a waste of time too. Don't be sleeping around.
But that's the whole point of the Hoe Faze is to get out, enjoy yourself, and if you happen to have random
if you don't start
emotionless
none, won't
sex.
Be none. The benefit, obviously I know today people ain't waiting till marriage, but the benefit to that is you will have no comparison. Like, because you got to think about the more that you exposed to, that's why it's people out here asking for people to beat them for a living. Like,
oh God.
Because
dominatrix type
stuff,
when
when you go to a level, you don't know, like the more stuff that you get exposed to, you can reach a level to where your thirst cannot be quenched. And then let's say if the person that quenches your thirst, they don't want to marry you. Mm-hmm. So now whoever you marry is not going to be on their level. And you always going to be in the back of your mind thinking about these past experiences. And you might have a good man that want to marry you, want to wife you, make you a mother, do all that. You ain't going to want him. Because you know that in that capacity, you never going to be satisfied.
So in other words, then, a woman shouldn't go out and do the Hoe Faze because she may wind up getting turned out then.
Yeah, you going
to... And so the new guy is more on the Urkel tip, and he's more reserved, want to watch Netflix and just chill on out.
Yeah, he's a good man.
And like I said, he's a good dude. He's a provider, but it's a certain element that's missing. That's what you're saying? Okay.
And if you don't know nothing about that, then you will just settle into your nice little life, and you will think that this is normal. You will be like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. Okay. Because that's all that you know.
Women that's going into that relationship with regrets of not knowing. Because I mean, there have been relationships that has faltered or that didn't
But
come to
why
minds
do
because a woman or a man feel like they missed out on something, and that's where the cheating comes in.
Yeah, but people, there's a reason why people start getting into that mind frame. Like nowadays in social media, like social media has broke down so many 20, 30 plus year relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying that they were all great relationships. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying that maybe some of the people did need to get out of their situation. But you start seeing all this stuff. Oh, my person don't do this and they don't do that. And instead of you wanting to work on your situation, you like, oh no, I deserve better. So then you take on the fallacy that you about to jump out here and just be able to find that type of situation like this
Mm-hmm.
and mess around and find out you about to be single.
But
So let's say if that person was not doing anything wrong in terms of like being a provider, they
mm-hmm.
not emotionally abusive, like they not doing nothing that's like warning things, oh you should get out of a relationship.
Right.
But let's say they just not as romantic or they not as intimate or sexual, whatever kind of stuff that you want to, like, for one, most of the time people ain't even having a conversation to even give the person a chance. They
Okay.
just like they won't do that or they not like that, so then they just I'm out, you know what I'm saying, because this is what I want to do, or they gonna go cheat. So that's a lot of people not even getting the opportunity to see if the person would be, because they just like, oh, I'm just sick of this. I'm just tired. The easy way out is just to be like, oh, I just do something else.
Yeah, but typically when excuse me, before you settle down with someone, there's a courtship, right? So you get to know whether or not you and this person is compatible based upon your likes and your dislikes. So if once you was going through your whole phase, you realized that, because I imagine from a couple of women that I talked about, and we'll get into that too, but I imagine that the whole purpose of the whole phase is to just to do certain things that you probably wouldn't normally do. So you want to experience certain things. Because I had one female, this little young millennial, tell me how had a dude spit in her mouth. Right? I'm like, what the fuck, what? I don't even want you talking to me and getting in my face, but for you to just in my, so she realized that that wasn't something that she liked. She said, but it was experience. Even though that's an awkward way to put it, but it was just an experience. I never had it happen to me before, but it was experience for her. So what I'm saying is, I just imagine that a lot of that whole phase stuff is just something that women want to try certain things, because when they get married, because just like, for example, guys who may go out and get a prostitute or get a lap dance or whatever, strip club, when they go home, they don't want that same experience to be around their kids. They want that same experience 24 hours. This is just a form of entertainment, something that you just want to go experience for that time. But when you get home, you want that wife that's going to be presentable, ladylike, go get a nail. Not saying strippers don't get their nails done, but you know what I'm saying. It's just a certain thing that you want at home compared to what you want in the streets. Why in the heck is she looking at me like this, people?
Because there's no benefit to this. Like, first of all, in today's world, okay, because of social media, now all the men is like red pill and all, right. So even some of them that did not have these standards before, like I've been seeing people posting people's dating profile, and these guys just like completely unqualified. They like, yeah, I want a woman that blah. So like now that people are on that, and you think that you about to get what you want, which these women want, this 6-figure 666 guy, whatever. He's not going for that. That's not the type of woman that he wants, because first of all, he's thinking about long term, like who he's trying to reproduce with, have a
Mm-hmm.
family, have a mother figure. And I feel like when you do certain things as a woman, the longer that you out here on the rampage acting
I
like a
like that, the
dude,
rampage. Okay.
it it turns some of that animalistic like it can turn a woman to be
Into a
on that kind of
beast. She
time.
can be a beast
Like she
too.
could be acting like a man.
Yeah, yeah.
Where she becomes not emotionless, but she starts getting kind of callous, and then she'll start kind of hunting like how a dude hunts. So then it becomes hard for her to be monogamous.
Yeah, yeah. I can
And
see
then
that.
women technically kind of have more access to dudes. So then it's like when you do try to settle down and be in a, your eyes is always like, because you know that you could just get out here and it could be on and popping. So you just making everything harder for yourself. Not only that, you opening yourself up to disease,
Oh God.
unwanted pregnancies,
She's
which
saying.
all of these things are happening. Let's be
And
clear.
I'm not saying oh my God or whatever like that because you're right, it can happen. But I would imagine that these women that are out there doing those things would be mindful and be protective.
Don't believe that. Have
Like
you not seen Sexy Red, Suki Hana, all these chicks that's promoting raw dogging and all? What?
that's the thing for real.
Yes, these
Okay,
people are not.
Uncle Will is I'm kind of up there in age, so I don't watch all that stuff.
No,
But
I don't believe that at all. I do not believe these people is being protected the way they say they are. I don't believe that for a minute.
well, okay, well, let's just say this then. For those women who are not trying to get themselves mentally caught up and become a predator out there in the streets devouring different men, but they just want a moment in time in their lives.
No,
What's wrong with that one moment in
you don't
time?
need no moment in time. Have a moment in time and sit your butt down.
Listen, men, we do it all the time
Yeah,
as
but you
young men.
already know that it's not the same, and it ain't even no. It's a double standard that ain't never going away, and it's not the same.
Well, okay, it is a double standard, but I have a total of three daughters, okay, and I got a load of nieces, okay, and these girls are crazy, okay, and so when I brought the subject up to them, and I asked them, "How do y'all feel about that? Don't you think that's kind of?" They all, I want to say, all of them was like, they ain't see nothing wrong with it or whatever. Just like another topic I brought up before about you dating a man that knowingly is sleeping with another man, but he's sleeping with you as well too. The thinking of the younger generation is that you can't judge that man for because he have a right to sleep with whoever you want to sleep with, and so a lot of them feel like,
Oh
well,
Jesus, when you coming back? Is it tomorrow, Lord? Is it tomorrow? Because
and so a lot of them feel like people my age or in my age group or whatever that we our minds are closed off, that we are not with the times, that we don't, you know what I'm saying, see things for the way that they are now. So I'm old, you
oh,
know what I'm
okay.
saying? So, and hey, I don't have nothing against, LGBT, a guy with another guy. I don't have nothing. That's your life. But the question I just posed a question though, outside of that one, with that, and their answers to me is still the same in regards to the whole phase and to that, which is that it's okay to be open and live your life and get what you got to get right now, because one day you're gonna eventually settle down and you're gonna eventually, you
Yep, with
know.
somebody that you don't want, because that's who gonna be left after you get done playing around.
Well, I mean, maybe because I said it to him in being funny, but I said, well, I guess you're gonna have to tighten it up, use some okay. But their mindset is that it's okay, that the
Well, we
whole
gonna
phase thing is okay,
okay.
and so that's the reason why I posed this question and I asked Shannon about us doing this topic, because not only in my family but other young ladies that I know out here in this world, younger ones, I didn't. They told me that it's okay, and I know a couple women that actually went through their whole phase. With about three. One of them still isn't married yet. Okay, she's about to be 40.
Mm.
Uh, other two, they were married. One got divorced, the other one's still with her husband or whatever. But when they sit back and think about it, their face light up. They think about college and when they was younger, about what they went through, and they felt like it was a good experience because back then some of them went to Freaknik. For those of you who don't know what the Freaknik is, but a lot of them, had their experience. So I'm like, okay, so this whole phase thing is a real thing.
Well, this concept only exists for the world because if you in the church and you supposed to be abiding by what it is that you say you believe,
You know
this
how many
ain't
holes
even.
up in the church?
I mean,
Now,
I
come
know it
on
is,
now.
but I'm just saying this shouldn't even be a topic.
Deacon
Like,
Elder Thomas Smith, the fourth, probably one of the biggest holes in the Dang God Church.
I mean, I know, but
Probably with the
I'm
first
just
lady.
saying in terms of how things are supposed to be.
Right.
This
But
shouldn't even be a
why
conversation.
shouldn't it be a conversation, and why isn't it supposed to be that way? Because, okay, women has fought for their sexuality to be expressed for years, and for some, this is a good way of expressing their sexuality by being able to sleep with whoever they want to sleep with,
So
without
just
being
tell me
prejudged.
this: what are the benefits to it?
Well, some say it's just to get it out their system.
No, what are the benefits?
Me myself,
How does that benefit you?
I don't see a benefit with a woman, but then again, coming from me, a woman probably don't want to hear that because it's like you a man. You can't. Don't nobody care about what you think. But if I say that, I'm thinking about the old school ways of a woman should be virtuous. She should carry herself as a lady. She should do this, blah blah blah. You're gonna be a mother one day, boom boom boom. But do I really have a right? Because, like I said, my daughters, they didn't check me plenty of times to let me know I need to calm down with this. You thinking this? I'm like, well, damn, am I? Now, some things I'm not letting go on, and I'm not saying that I'm co-signing this whole phase. I'm just putting out there what I have heard as far as the positives.
There is
It's
no
not
positives.
too many negatives.
And I mean, let's say that you live in a small town where everybody know everybody, and you done slept with everybody in the town.
mm-hmm.
Like that's not a comfortable feeling. Like I think about even people in the work environment,
Mm-hmm.
and like they mess with several people in there that they got to see all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's not fun to keep running into these people that know all these intricate details about you, and you got to work with them every day and see them. You sitting up in meetings with them, and like, are y'all daydreaming about how, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not fun.
Yeah.
Or like one day you out with your husband and your kids, and this dude who seen you swinging from the chandeliers that your husband don't even know that you did that before, and y'all out like for a family dinner, and you sweating. Like maybe he your waiter. Like, do you know how uncomfortable that is?
Well, okay.
Like these things come back. Think about how many people, mamas and grandmamas and aunties, was sweating when they was saying they was gonna do a Freaknik video movie, and they was wondering if one of the clips of them pee popping on the handstand was gonna be included. Like no. People don't even want to discuss when they used to be on drugs. And they kids have to talk about that.
Oh, okay, but this is about sexual liberation. That's, to me, that's what is another form of sexual liberation.
You need to be sexually liberated with your husband. How about that?
Well, until they get a husband.
If they will work on that instead of working on being hoes, then maybe they will have one.
Okay, but how about this though? The word whole phase, people forget about the phase. Okay, you thinking more about whole, but what about the phase? It's just something temporary that they're going through just to have a little fun. That's
Temporary
all it is.
things can last a lifetime.
I mean, if they get pregnant, hell yeah, that's a lifetime.
But we know that this stuff is happening.
I mean, but to me at that point, that's your dumb fault if you're irresponsible.
No,
and you
because
out there doing what
sometimes
you're doing.
things happen, like condoms break, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it happens. Or didn't you see that whole thing about guys pretending that they was putting one on and stuff, and then they wasn't? Like, and the girls didn't even know, like...
Really?
Yeah,
See,
this world is crazy. That's why you don't need to be out here in it, because it's foolishness.
Girl, okay, now
It's too many things going on.
when you say that,
What if somebody's secretly recording you and you don't know? You know how many people then got their lives towed up over revenge porn nowadays? Somebody come out, you didn't even know about this. I seen on this documentary I was watching, this dude had people coming to this girl's house. He had released her address.
Damn.
She was in danger. Like, this stuff is not, it's not cool.
Okay.
All because you think it's all fun and games. You don't know how this stuff, you could end up out of here. You don't know how this stuff is going to end. Like, it's a lot of women out here that's working on these websites and doing stuff like that. Like, you playing with your life too much for me.
So, in other words, it's not ladylike.
I mean, not just that. It's just all of the risks don't equal. Because to me, if you get with your spouse, you could have the exact same, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's spouses that's into whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a discussion beforehand. And it's like, okay, we equal on that. And there you go. Why you got to explore this with 50,000 different... And like I said, because if you get to the point where you can't be satisfied, then what you supposed to do? If that person don't want to marry you, because 9 times out of 10, like, I have heard about some women being completely just demolished. That man is not with them. He don't want them.
Type of train action, possibly, or just...
whatever it is. Yeah, they don't want you. Like, they'll do that stuff, but that don't equal a long-term relationship.
Well, I mean, I don't think that they're going into that particular phase thinking about relationships, because to me, I'm thinking if they're out there like that, they're just out there just to have fun, to divide and conquer themselves. And
that's
then
for a
when
moment.
the time comes, right, for a moment. And so once that moment is over with, now they're thinking about the future. They're thinking about, okay, well, I want to settle down. Because what? A woman generally start thinking about settling down, by 27, 28 maybe, they start thinking about the future. So from the point of, let's say, 19 through about 25, 26, they're out there just trying to have some fun, whatever, just trying to live their bestest life,
Waste of time.
whatever. I mean, for you, it's a waste of time. And you know, I mean, me, myself, as a father and as uncle of all these nieces, I definitely don't want my daughters and my nieces out there going through a whole phase. But, I mean, what can we do? Or what can I do? Nothing. So, the dialogue is it beneficial, though? Because some of them tend to think that I'm getting this out of my system so I can be able to devote my time and my energy to my future husband.
No, it's going to make you the exact opposite. Because think about it. Somewhere down the road, what if you start, remembering all that stuff and then you start missing it? Like, you'll mess around and walk away from your whole family.
Well, how about you introduce these things to your spouse?
And what if they ain't with it?
That's
which is more than likely what's going to happen.
That's something entirely different. Yeah. Okay. Well, as you see, I don't have all the answers on that.
Because I guarantee you, a lot of the like Poindexter people that people would consider in society is not the same ones that's all about all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, those two things probably are not hand to hand.
Right.
Like, the kind of people that's, if they, don't get me wrong, because I know it's some CEOs and people that hire people, like I said, to beat them and stuff, because for some reason. But they not doing that at home with their wife.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying.
They're not asking her to do that.
No, because with the wife, you don't want the wife to be privy to that,
right? Because it's her image, right, that they don't want to spoil her image that they have of her, and if they see her in that capacity, that's gonna ruin.
Oh, she's done.
The same with this. If your husband see you in the image of that person he hiring, that's gonna mess him up.
Because let me tell you. Let me find out that my wife was a super freak back in the days. I mean, I'm vested now. You know what I'm saying? But the image, the thoughts going through my mind, it's like, oh my God, you did that?
And I mean, you know how you are as a man. So if you think about how you would deal with a woman that you could like care less about, somebody was doing that to your wife.
Ooh, see what I'm saying? See? Girl,
you know how far a man can get.
Girl,
He came out his seat.
Hell to the no. See, you want some BS.
I'm trying to tell
You want some
y'all.
BS. Now see,
They gonna be hating on me. Ooh, they gonna be so mad.
shoot, I'm hating on you now too, cause you putting these visuals or whatever. Now I gotta go ask
Well,
some
if
questions.
that's what it takes.
No, I ain't gonna ask no question because I
You
don't
don't
want
wanna
to know.
know.
I don't want to know. But this whole thing about going through a whole phase has been so popular, and I have heard about it a couple of times to the point to where I had to ask these questions, which is why I had to bring that topic over here and put it on the table about this whole phase thing. So it's obvious that you're not for the whole phase.
No.
But did you ever have one?
I had a phase where I was hanging out and wasting time.
Whole phase or out wasting time?
Out wasting time.
Okay. So, but you wasn't getting your groove on? Like
I mean,
Stella?
I'm not gonna say I never did,
Okay,
but
then.
yeah,
So-
that wasn't the bane of my existence.
No,
but even
I
that,
don't think it's
it
their
is.
existence. It's just to get out, have some drinks, have some fun, out with your
Even
girls.
that
if
was
you
a
meet
waste of
dude.
time. When I look back at that, I'm just like, for what? That was so dumb.
I mean, but part of those experiences help mold you into the person that you're going to become. So it's going to either make you decide, well, you know what, I'm going to continue to be a hoe, or you know what, nah, because I was a no good hoe back in my younger days. I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't okay back in my younger days, and well, my kids' moms can tell you about it. I wasn't nothing, but when I look at where I'm at now, mentally and physically, it helped made me to the person I am now, that I have nothing but respect for women now. And I done taught all my sons the same thing. I think like, no,
Well, you are an outlier.
I'm an outlier.
Yeah.
Define.
Like the most people don't turn out that way.
Okay.
A lot of guys, they don't turn out to be good upstanding. They continue to be womanizers. Like,
oh yeah.
and they might get married, they might have a family, and they still continuing to do what they was doing before.
Yeah.
A lot of women, they don't turn out to be good housewives. They turn out to be baby mamas with 7 kids and 7 baby daddies, and that's the reality of most situations.
Yeah, I mean, I can truly say that from my whole phase when I was younger, that I took something from it, and I realized that that wasn't what I wanted anymore. And I actually stopped being a hoe when I got about 30. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. I said, okay, it's time to stop this. But I can understand why you in it. You enjoying the whole notion, the whole idea of conquering the world. I can understand that. But when I sit back now, I'm thinking like, oh my God. And so that's one of the questions that I ask one of my daughters is, do you think that a person who actually going through the whole phase, or like yourself, daughter, who actually went, I don't know if you're still going through it, but anyway, will have regrets? I wonder, will they have regrets? Because I know I have certain regrets of things that I did because I was reckless.
I guess it depends on the way that they look at it. I mean, these people nowadays, morals and all that stuff is out the window. So more than likely, no, because they not gonna see nothing wrong with it until like I said, it hit home in some kind of way. Just like people that's out here doing ridiculous stuff on the internet, it's not gonna be till their kids grow up and have to see that and call them out on it that they might be like, ugh, I wish I didn't have to have this conversation.
Or
because a lot of times, like, it impact them in some way. Like, this lady was, she had the OnlyFans advertised on her car, and she was going up to the kids' school, and the school, it was a Christian school, and they asked her, like, hey, could you not either come in the lot with that, or can you take them across the street? Like, whatever you do, we just don't want that advertised here. So stuff like that. Now they didn't put the kids out to school. Now the kids got to go to another school, because they asked her several times. She wouldn't comply. This is a school that people are paying tuition for. So you getting booted out because everybody else is in the majority. Like, that was uncalled for. It's unnecessary. Why your kids got to go to a new school? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you saying this is how you making a living. Okay, that's fine. But they going to be subjected to, like, okay, what about when your kid's a teenager? Then one of their little schoolmates see you on there. And now they getting teased at school because of something you did. Like, this is the reality of your decisions in life. That's
Yeah.
what people not thinking about. It's not just fun and games because you thought that this was a good time.
Mm. And what's funny is a couple of teachers over there then wrote down the OnlyFans information and subscribe.
Right, and it's about to jack their family up. You just out here all type of collateral damage. Cause matter of fact, I think they said the kids was writing it down or something like that. Like, and that's what's happening. These kids got debit cards and stuff. You don't think that they can go and
Oh boy, I
pretend
know
to
mom
be
and dad be
18?
mad as heck when they see the statement comes in. Well, it's obvious, Shannon, that you're not pro.
I feel strongly.
So as we wrap this up, tell people how strongly you feel about this topic, this subject matter of
Ladies,
Hoe Faze.
go somewhere and sit down. Period. Meet you a nice man. If you want to have children, hey, more power to you. If you don't, go on with the rest of your life. There is no benefit to this situation. If you feel you want to explore, you can find a husband that you can explore with, where you can be safe and in the privacy of your own home. It's not worth it. There's no glory in it. There's no benefit to it. The risks outweigh the rewards,
Ah, okay.
or what you see as a reward.
Okay. Well, as Shannon just told you, it's not even worth it in her mind. But let me tell you my take on it. If you feel like you need to release some steam, um, you want to enjoy a certain aspect of your young adult life, feel liberated, have fun, enjoy yourself. But also remember consequences to everything, right? What's that saying? For every action, there's a reaction. Could the reaction be where your future mate may find out some things that's online about you? Some of your friends may slip up and talk about the past, and he find out and like, wow, I didn't know that you know how to spin around a pole with just one pinky finger. Okay, interesting. So, what I'm saying to you is, live your life. We all have that right to live a life. You don't want no regrets. You want to look back and be like, what if? Or I wonder. But doing so, think about the reaction of it, the cause and effect. That'll be my advice. So, not saying no more on it. My daughters, I love you. And honey, I hope nothing ever come out about you. So, with that being the case, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode 3D podcast, which is Dollars Discussions. I'm so messed up. Dollar Tree the discussion, because this time got me messed up. Like, you say my wife, girl, stop it. 3D. Okay, thank you guys for tuning in. Please make sure you guys leave some comments, some remarks. Let me know if you had a whole phase that you went through, whether you male or female. Let us know about it. How did it end? Any regrets? Do you still go through a phase as a whole? Let's talk about it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click the alert so it keeps you guys updated on new and fresh content that we release. Other than that, I'm your boy, Uncle Will.
I'm Shannon B.
Until next episode, peace. Girl, you have a problem with the whole face. Ooh, gosh. And you